Hey there, Internet. So a little bit of a hot take here. I would rather do stuff in where I can sit down, research, But I had things to do today, and then got stuff that made life a pain in the ass. And I don't want to just call it a short because I don't know if it really will be. But carrying my phone while I take care of stuff. Among the things I had to do today was electrical inspection. Thought it'd be quick, done. And I'd go on to do things like, looking for a faucet for my new tub because I'm having to remodel my house after the flood, as many of my friends know. And I had to renew my auto insurance. Well, the cool thing here is when I did that, let's see, that's one copy for me, one copy for my wife, and reached my receipt. And my bill went up, $1,119.50. I paid, I think, under $1,000 last time. Think about that for a minute. That increase, and it seemed like it had gone up the previous time too. So we're going to call this effects of government in your daily life, because with my electrical inspection, I ended up, in the course of my home repairs, I have a ongoing electrical project of replacing my electrical panel, and I just laid out another $500 or $600 for parts because they keep increasing regulation. To give a perspective, and we'll see if we can't just reverse this on the outside of my house. See if it'll let me do that. Nope. Okay, I'll do it this way. See that? I had to add that. By the time I got all the parts, and some of them will be returned, it was about $800. Because somebody thinks they're making things better. And granted, some of this stuff, maybe it does. Maybe it is really better to be able to have an outside cutoff for the electrical on your house when you have for first responders. But to give some perspective to that, it was another $800 that goes into the cost of your house when they go to build one. So all of you that wonder about affordable housing, guess about what kind of things drive up the cost. It's not just greedy contractors. But I have to replace all of these breakers because even though they're Square D, despite Lowe's, Home Depot, everybody selling them, they, to be totally truthful, have to be replaced. All these 120 amp ones, because they're not arc fault ones. I couldn't get a consistent answer from the inspectors because I'm on inspection number 2 of this. But there's one thing that drives up the cost of your housing, is something like that. So what started out as probably less than $1,000 project is well over $2,000, maybe even pushing $3,000, just to replace an old Square D electrical panel. And if you think it was not necessary, not only do they not lend on Square Ds when I go to sell this place, but I still have the old one sitting here. That's what the old one looked like. Let's see if we can get it in the view. That's my old panel. It looks like hell. It was pretty much a fire hazard. So I'm upgrading my electrical, but because I upgraded so much stuff, I had to put that extra switch on the outside. So, but what really touched me off was this insurance. My daily life. Last time I paid, it seemed like it was up. Turns out there was a $268 increase back in October when I renewed. Then I renewed today. Another $100 and something increase. All total about $360 or so, a little over. At least $60 a month is what that breaks down to, because that's for just 6 months. $60 a month out of my pocket. Why? Because I thought I better find out what's going on. Was it because I got rear-ended in December? Was it because something else went? Was it inflation? Hey, inflation's a thing. Turns out our idiot Democrat insurance commissioner thought it was a bright idea to say, oh, because of COVID, we have all of these people who have bad credit. Guess what? Now, all of us who are responsible, because it's going back and forth in the courts, are having to pay extra for people that are too irresponsible to have good credit. And I'm sorry, but a lot of people who have bad credit are consistently irresponsible. You can't tell me it was COVID because we gave them $600 of boosted unemployment. You can't say that. That was a whole reason that the foreclosure moratorium and the rent moratorium, eviction moratorium was immoral. It was amoral, in fact, because people rent that out expecting income. Now you've screwed the owner of the place. You've screwed other people over. That's why that whole thing was flat out wrong. But now, thanks to our idiot insurance commissioner saying, oh, you can't use credit for setting insurance rates, I'm paying an extra $60 a month. For me, that's like 3/4 of a normal paycheck take home. How do you Democrats expect somebody like me to afford that? I'm not rich. My wife isn't working. We can hold it all together. I can be responsible about it. But thanks to some Democrat who thinks that they need to reward irresponsible people and act like everyone's supposed to have some sort of equal outcome, I get to pay higher. $360 plus every 6 months, and that's $60 a month. And then I was told by the lady at the insurance agent that the insurance commissioner isn't going to allow refunds if they get upheld of being able to use credit in setting those rates. So thank you, everybody, for voting for Democrats and putting these guys in power in Washington State for about 40 years now. By the time that we can get these guys out of office, because we got at least another 2.5 years of this crap. This is what happens when you have this kind of regulation in your daily life. How many of you would like to have another $60 in your pocket? And this is granted for my 2018 Ford pickup and my wife's 1995 Subaru Legacy. And she's only got liability on her. You know, what's legal to drive for her car, because it's not worth having full coverage. I granted it. In my truck, it's worth having the full coverage. But that is how it affected rates. And it's going to affect all of you as well. So I got to get to work here on this electrical to try and get an inspection done sooner so my contractor can get all my walls closed up. But think about that in November and every November when you vote. This is the effect of electing Democrats on your daily life. Have a good one.